Judge Alan Hemsworth was the kind of man no one remembered until the day he vanished. For 22 years, he presided over cases in a quiet Nebraska courtroom, handling everything from petty theft to high-profile corporate fraud with the same measured calm. He never raised his voice, never smiled too long, and never, ever left a decision unfinished. That's why, when he failed to return from a short recess during one of the most controversial trials in state history, the silence screamed louder than any gavel ever could. The trial in question involved Gregory Voss, a charismatic yet deeply polarizing CEO of SilverLine Assurance, a billion-dollar insurance firm accused of defrauding thousands of elderly clients. It was the kind of case that attracted national media, conspiracy theorists, and quiet government observers. For weeks, testimony rocked the courtroom. Whistleblowers, financial analysts, and even former board members painted Voss as both a genius and a monster. But Hemsworth remained stoic. He listened, he noted, and then during closing arguments he called for a 90-minute recess. The courtroom emptied for lunch, cameras stopped rolling, and Alan Hemsworth was never seen again. At first, everyone assumed he just stepped out, perhaps to get coffee or take a call. But when 4 p.m. rolled around and court security couldn't locate him, concern turned to panic. His chambers were locked from the inside. When forced open, they revealed an untouched room. His coat still hung on the door, his briefcase sat by the desk, and a half-finished cup of tea had gone cold. The only thing that stood out was a torn sheet of yellow legal pad paper on his desk. 3 words were scribbled in black ink: "Verdict is sealed." No signature, no handwriting confirmation, no ruling on the trial. The jury was dismissed, citing judicial emergency. Gregory Voss was neither acquitted nor convicted. His case technically never ended. A mistrial was declared, but the mystery had only just begun. In the weeks that followed, strange things started happening. Court staff reported hearing footsteps in Hemsworth's locked office. Cleaning crews said the lights would turn on by themselves in the early hours of the morning. One janitor swore she heard the sound of typing late one night, only to find the room empty and the power off. But the strangest incident came exactly 30 days after the disappearance. A court clerk preparing old files for transfer opened a sealed drawer in Hemsworth's desk, one that had been locked and checked by police. Inside was a transcript from the missing final session of the trial. A full document, formatted like an official court ruling, bearing Hemsworth's name, dated the day of his disappearance. The problem? That transcript never existed in the digital court system. The court reporter who'd been working the trial said she never typed those words. And experts who analyzed the paper claimed the ink was fresh, less than 24 hours old. Public attention exploded. Was this a cover-up, a supernatural event? Had Hemsworth faked his own disappearance to escape pressure? A popular Reddit thread titled "The Judge Who Vanished" gained over 12 million views in 2 weeks. People began combing through old footage of Hemsworth's past cases. One case in particular stood out: a 2003 lawsuit involving SilverLine Assurance, in which Hemsworth had ruled in favor of the company after a key witness unexpectedly withdrew. That witness had later died in a car crash. Rumors spiraled. Was Hemsworth compromised, threatened? Then on the 100th day after the disappearance, someone mailed a single flash drive to the court under anonymous packaging. Inside was a grainy video, timestamped the day of the disappearance. The footage showed Hemsworth standing in his chambers, facing the camera directly. He didn't speak. He just held up a piece of paper too blurred to read, then slowly turned off the light. That was it. No sound, no context. Investigators were baffled. There was no known camera in his chambers. No trace of how it was recorded. SilverLine Assurance quietly settled all pending lawsuits in the following months and rebranded under a new name. Gregory Voss disappeared from public view. He declined all interviews. One former employee leaked an email claiming Voss had received a voicemail from a blocked number the night Hemsworth disappeared. All it said was, "You're not acquitted, you're delayed." Today, Alan Hemsworth is still considered a missing person. His name lives on in legal circles, debated in law schools and podcasts, dissected by skeptics and believers alike. Was he silenced? Was he guilty of something darker himself? Or was he simply a man who stumbled upon a truth too dangerous to render in court? One thing is certain: justice was never served. It was buried somewhere between law, fear, and the unknown. And in the courthouse where it all began, the gavel remains untouched, the chair behind the bench permanently empty, and sometimes, when it's quiet enough, they say you can still hear someone whispering, "Verdict is sealed."